Hey, what's up, guys? In this video, I want to talk some more heavyweight boxing, and I'm going to be talking about the WBC heavyweight title eliminator that's been announced, or kind of, sanctioned by the WBC between Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz. Now, this fight could take place either before the end of the year or early next year. It could take place before the end of the year because I know Wilder just fought, but he really took no damage in that fight, and where he dispatched Hellenius in the first round, kind of as expected. Now, this fight wouldn't be, a walk in the park for either fighter, in my opinion. I think this is a very interesting stylistic matchup, with Wilder being 6'7" and Ruiz being, 6'1", and more of an inside fighter. So, in my opinion, the game plans would obviously be simple for each fighter. With Wilder, it would be a case of try and play the long game, stick the jab, and look to set up that big right hand of his. But like I say, control the distance and keep Andy on the outside and use a little bit of movement. Wilder can move a little bit, not a great mover or a natural mover, but we saw him do that in the Stiverne first fight. He was able to put up enough of a back foot game using his jab, landing his right hand, and just controlling where the fight took place against Stiverne, because Stiverne couldn't cut the ring off. And it was pretty much an easy night's work for Deontay Wilder. Now, this fight would have the possibility to turn out like that, or with a KO if Wilder can set up that right hand and keep Ruiz on the outside. Or it could get really ugly for Deontay Wilder if Andy Ruiz is able to get past Wilder's jab and get on the, come in low and get on the inside, start working Deontay Wilder's body and letting both hands go and start to finish off upstairs. Ruiz got some of the best punch selection and the fastest hands in the heavyweight division. A really dangerous counter puncher and an overall, pretty well-rounded and skilled boxer. The negatives for Ruiz, though, however, he's also got very slow feet and not great head movement, similar to Berman Stiverne. So that doesn't match up well going into a fight against Deontay Wilder or against really any fighter. However, you saw Ruiz in the Areola fight kind of getting tagged with 1-2s from the outside. And we saw in the AJ fight, he failed to cut off the ring and make, make Anthony Joshua fight him. And Josh was able to outpoint him and box him on the outside. So Wilder could look to do something like that while looking to set up the right hand. That's obviously the approach he's got to take. Try and tie Andy Ruiz up on the inside. But I don't think he'll actually be able to do that. I haven't really seen any inside game from Deontay Wilder. I know there's been snippets of it, but I don't think, it's competitive on the inside at all with Andy Ruiz. I think Andy Ruiz would be able to avoid being tied up and, would be able to let his hands go and hurt Wilder on the inside, both to the body and head. So I think this fight's a very intriguing fight. And at the moment, I go back and forth on who I'm leaning to, because I do think Andy Ruiz is the overall better boxer, but Deontay Wilder's got that one-punch power. And, he probably is going to hit Andy Ruiz at some point, with Andy being the shorter of the two fighters having to come forwards. So that could mean, Andy Ruiz is going to go and then get knocked out. But I don't know. I think Andy's a crafty enough and smart enough boxer to be able to, negate and navigate his way around Deontay Wilder's right hand while, kind of getting under his jab and turning the fight, onto more of a, an inside type of fight or in the pocket type of fight. And if that's the case, then Andy Ruiz, I think, will be able to dog Wilder out and get the stoppage, because that's the other thing. Wilder's getting up in age. He doesn't really take punishment well, and also, if the fight starts getting rough or Ruiz is able to kind of speed the pace up of the fight a little bit, Wilder does fatigue, quite easy, and it has the possibilities of becoming a physical inside type of fight if Ruiz is able to cut off the ring and, like I say, get on the inside and let his hands go. It's a very hard fight to pick at the moment. I think I'm leaning towards Andy Ruiz, but this is not my final prediction. It may change before the fight comes around, but at the moment I'm probably leaning towards Ruiz. But just overall, I think he's the more complete, more skilled of the two fighters. But Wilder has that, that right hand, which is a hell of a trick. As I say, one-trick pony, but it's a hell of a trick. But with Wilder being, in my opinion, kind of one-handed, I think Ruiz will be able to kind of navigate or negate that right hand, like I said earlier, and swing the fight in his favor. But Ruiz is going to have to come in a bit better shape than he did in the second AJ fight, and I think he will for a fight against Wilder, because this is another huge opportunity to put yourself in line to challenge for a world title after you kind of messed up the last one by giving it away, getting so out of shape and not training for the rematch. So like I said, I think Ruiz will come into this fight, taking it more seriously, and at the moment I'm leaning towards him kind of pulling off in what would be an upset victory against Deontay Wilder. I think Ruiz would be able to upset the other ex-heavyweight champion, Deontay Wilder. That's the other thing. It's two ex-heavyweight champs in this fight, so quite a marketable fight, and a pretty what would make for a pretty entertaining fight. Both guys have power, and both are always in exciting fights. So I'm looking forward to this fight. Let me know in the comment section below how you see it going and who you got winning at the moment. Thanks for listening. Talk to you guys again soon. Cheers.